All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Sorry, I'm, doing all the technology things that I haven't done in a while. Welcome, happy Monday, happy New Year. My name is Deanna. If you don't know me, this is our faculty staff yoga class. Super excited to see everybody back. Hope you had a great break. Happy New Year. With this class, if you've never done this class before, it is hybrid. So there's folks on Zoom and then there's folks in person. So if you're joining us on Zoom, I just make sure you have space around you. I do utilize blocks in class to assist us in the poses sometimes. So they are here in the studio behind the door. If you're on Zoom, then you can use a water bottle, a pillow, anything like that to help you get comfortable throughout the class. We're going to start with some breathing and meditation, and then we will get into more of our asanas, our physical poses for the class. That is all I have. So first thing is to just get comfortable. If you want to, you can lay down on your backs. You can stay seated, whatever you'd like for our beginning meditation and breathing. If you'd like, this is a great time to close your eyes. Just shifting your focus inward. Maybe starting to check in with your breathing. Noticing where you're feeling the breath today. Notice how your body and your mind are feeling today. As you start to become more aware of your breath, start to think about taking nice deep breaths from in and out through the nose, starting with your breath in your belly and moving the breath up into your chest. And then exhaling from your chest back down to your belly. As we start this new semester, this new year, maybe setting an intention for yourself or a goal that could be related to your yoga practice or outside. Continuing to take nice deep inhales, lengthening your exhales. Letting go of any expectations, letting go of any competition, and suspending all judgment of yourselves and others. Taking these next few minutes to simply focus on yourself and whatever it might be that you need today. We can always come back to our breath throughout our practice, feeling grounded on our mats, feeling connected to our bodies. And throughout our practice, we can continue these nice, deep diaphragmatic breaths, or we can find any other breath practice that might feel better or suit us today. Remembering that you are in control of your practice and you have the power to choose what feels best for your body today. Continuing to find these nice deep inhales, lengthening your exhales. When you're ready, we're just going to take our hands down by our sides, meeting on the mats on our backs if we're not quite there. Legs can be extended or our knees bent. And as you continue your nice deep inhales, we're just going to bring our hands up and overhead, almost like a full body stretch as we inhale, exhale, bringing the hands back down by the sides. Let's take 3 more of these deep breaths with our arm movements, just getting a feel for how it feels to move with our breath. Inhaling to extend the arms overhead and exhaling, hands by the sides. Let's take 1 more big inhale. And this time as you exhale, we're going to draw the knees into the chest and just rock it side to side, maybe massaging the low back if it feels good. I always say to use this time to check in with your back, your hips, maybe noticing how they're feeling today. And then once you're ready, let's place our feet on the floor in front of us. And we'll walk our feet to the long edges of our mat, hands by the sides or a little off the mat. We can drop the knees to the right and to the left. Just noticing how our hips are feeling today. You can feel free to move with your breath. Inhaling center, exhaling, drop the knees. Or just sway side to side in a motion that feels good. Once you're ready, we'll come back to center. Walking our feet next to our hips, in front of our hips. Hands can come back onto the mat. As we inhale, we're drawing the hips up to the sky in our bridge pose. And as we exhale, bringing the hips back down to the mat. Once again, warming up our back body, still moving with our breath here as we inhale to lift, pressing into our toes and heels, exhaling to lower. Taking 2 more rounds here in your bridge. Once again, maybe noticing how your hips feel as you lift them up to the sky, how your back feels. Last time here. And then as you're ready, we'll lower the hips to the mat, bring our knees back to our chest. We can roll ourselves up to a seated position or roll over onto our side, pressing ourselves up and coming to the top of the mat. Just sitting up nice and tall. You can sit in Sukhasana if that feels good, or you can extend your legs, bend your knees, whatever. Sitting up nice and tall, let's inhale our arms up to the sky. Exhale, that right hand comes down, left arm up and over. It's a side body stretch. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, left hand down. And once again, you can start to flow this with your own breath, moving at your own pace. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the side, getting that nice lateral flexion in our spine. Feeling free to sit on a block if that feels better for your hip flexors today. Last time on each side. Thinking about lifting the spine up nice and tall as we bend. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Excellent. From here, inhaling the arms up to the sky. As we exhale, hands come behind us, rolling the shoulders back. We're opening our heart, getting that chest expansion in our spine. So gaze comes up to the sky. As we inhale back to center, exhaling, walking the hands in front of the knees, finding that flexion in our spine. Just moving through all ranges of our spine, noticing how it's feeling today in those different positions. We inhale to come back to center, arms to the sky. Exhale 1 more time, open the chest, open the heart. You can place fists on the mat or your palms. Roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, bringing the hands to the front of the mat. Keeping your palms here, you can roll yourself up onto your hands and knees, or you can shift around. We're coming into all fours, hands and knees. And we'll move through our cat and cow. So as we inhale, we drop the belly to the mat, lift the chest to the sky with the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, round through the spine, moving into our cat. And once again, taking this at your own pace, using your breath as a guide.
Feeling free to add on any other movements that might feel good in your cat and cow today. Maybe tail wags, moving your hips side to side, or some hip circles. Maybe noticing if either your cat or your cow feels better or your back today. Just noticing, not labeling anything or creating any judgment again for ourselves. Just taking this time to see how your body's feeling today. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to our all fours, hands and knees. Our last little warm-up, core warm-up for today. We inhale, the right arm reaches out in front of us and our left leg extends behind us for bird dog. Feeling our core muscles engage, lengthening, eye gaze to the floor. As we exhale, we release the hand and knee to the mat. Inhale, other side, left arm, right leg, pressing through the heel of the foot, and exhale, release. Moving through this at your own pace, opposite arm, opposite leg reach. Feeling our glutes, back body, muscular slings, warming our core muscles. Let's do one more time on each side. Last time. And then we'll come back to all fours. Walk our knees to the long edges of the mat, hips to heels, finding child's pose or balasana. You can extend your arms out in front of you if you'd like. You can bring your hands behind you. You can rest them on your head. You can come to your forearms, whatever feels best for you today in our child's pose. This is our first little inversion, so the head is below the heart. Maybe noticing, or if you're feeling any sort of sinus issues or pressure today, you can always grab a block and rest your head on a block. Or you can place your fists on top of each other, keeping that head above the heart. Continuing to find your nice deep breath here, expanding across the back body as you inhale through the belly, all the way up into the upper back and ribs. Maybe noticing how your hips are feeling in this first little hip opener. Taking one more round of breath, remembering that we can come into child's pose at any time in our practice. Or any other rest pose that might feel better for us today. On your next inhale, let's lift the chest, coming into our plank position. We'll start on our knees on the mat. Knees are behind our hips, but in line with the hips, so it's a little different than our all fours position we were in. Right here, we want to walk the hands forward, hips drop, engaging the core, pressing into the palms. As we exhale, we can come down and hover our chest over for our chaturanga. Inhale, press back up to your plank, and then exhale, child's pose. We're just gonna break down our half series here, getting ready for our sun salutations. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, if you want to, you can lower all the way down onto the mat, elbows by the sides. Can you press back into your palms, come up to your plank? Exhale, child's pose. Next option, inhale, come forward. Exhale as you lower your chest, forehead down to the mat. Inhale, we come up to find cobra. We can come into a baby cobra here, lifting our hands, keeping our feet on the mat, or press into your palms, lift your chest all the way up to your full cobra. And then exhale, child's pose. We want to keep our elbows squeezing in. Moving through this half series here at your own pace. You can take whichever version you'd like, 1, 2, or 3. Inhale, we come to plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, come up to cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Again, cobra is optional too. Whichever version of cobra or not is up to you. Let's take 2 more rounds of this flow, moving at your own pace. Once you're ready, we'll meet back in child's pose. If you'd like to explore downward facing dog, you can stay in child's pose, or you can lift your hips, moving up into down dog. Hips to the sky, pressing that weight back. We can bend our knees right and left. So it's a little different than plank where our hips are forward. We want to send those hips up to the sky in an inverted V position, checking in how our calves are feeling as we walk our dog. Once again, down dog is optional, so you can always stay in child's pose if that feels better for you today. When you're ready, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Step or walk your feet all the way to the top. We're going to find Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands can come to the block or the floor. Once again, the block is great because it brings the ground up to meet us where we are. Softening your knees, maybe shaking your head, yes and no, if that feels good. You can find ragdoll if you'd like here as well. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up to our half lift, lengthening the spine, pulling the shoulder blades back. Exhale, softening forward fold. So really thinking about taking some knee bends in your forward fold here. The legs don't need to be locked out. One more time, inhale, lift the chest for half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. From here, inhale, reverse swan dive. We lift to the sky for our extended mountain. And then exhale, we sit back to find chair pose. So hands can come to heart center, or they can be extended out in front of you. It's up to you. Roll the shoulders back. Our feet can be shoulder width apart or together, whatever feels best for you. One more time, big lift to the sky, and then exhale, sit back to your chair. Surya Namaskar, we're gonna move through our full sun salutations. Inhale, we lift the chest. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift to find your half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften. Stepping back to find your plank. Knees or toes. And then Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale up to your cobra or up dog on the tops of the feet if you'd like. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Stepping, walking, lunging, hopping, whatever gets you to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, chair. Still moving with our breath. With me, one more time. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften. Stepping back to find your plank. Once again, finding that chaturanga if you'd like. Inhale to your cobra or up dog, elbows squeeze in, shoulders down. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. And then making your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair. Moving through your sun salutations at your own pace. So you're going to take 2 more rounds with your breath. Once again, I'll keep moving. But if you want to move faster, slower, whatever feels best for you today, if you want to add on something, if you want to omit something, if you want to change the sequence, whatever suits you and feels best for you today. The goal of our sun salutations is to move the breath to all of our major muscles that we're going to be utilizing for our poses, our asanas today, and to build heat in our body. So we are saluting that sun's energy, that heat. Once you finish your 2 rounds of your sun salutations, you can meet in down dog or child's pose. That's where we'll finish together before we move on. Rounding out whichever sun salutation you're doing and coming back down to the mat. We'll meet, like I said, in child's pose or in down dog. You decide. Taking a few deep breaths here, just checking in on how your body's feeling today. When you're ready, we are going to take our eye gaze to the top of the mat from our down dog or child's pose, stepping the right foot to the top of the mat for a low lunge position, so our hands can frame our foot. From here, you have the option to tuck the toe, lift the knee, or you can keep the knee on the mat. It's up to you. You can also find your block if you'd like. Place your left hand on the block. And then as we exhale, we're looking over the right shoulder for our revolve lunge. Option here, like I said, is you can lift your left knee. You can also lift your right arm to the sky. Taking a few deep breaths here. One more inhale. As we exhale, release the hands to the mat. Lift the chest, lift the arms. We come up to the sky for our Anjaneyasana option, kneeling. Inhale, exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. Find that nice hip flexor stretch. Inhaling to come back to center. Exhaling, hands find the mat. We lift our left knee off of the mat and step it forward to find pyramid pose. This is a great place for your block. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your block. You can bring your feet closer if that feels better, or wider. We're pressing our hips back to find length in our right leg. Relaxing the muscles in the face and the head. Still finding our breath here. Moving into a little bit of balance work today on each side. As you inhale, we're taking a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, pressing your weight into the floor, the block in front of you, we're lifting our left leg to the sky for our standing split. You can always stay here. You can also always come back to your pyramid pose, whatever feels best for you today. Always checking in with our body, checking in with our breath, making sure we're still feeling in control of our practice. From here, we're moving into our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. As we lift the left leg up to the sky, rotating it towards the baseball field, squeezing the glute, we can slowly lift the left arm up and take our gaze over to the left side. Once again, option, always coming back to standing split, both hands on the block of the floor, or pyramid, left foot down, shifting the weight back. So any of these options, if you are moving into that half moon, still checking in with your breath, squeezing through the top left glute also helps here as we rotate the hips and stack the hips. One more round of breath wherever we are in any of those poses. As you take your exhale, rotating the hips back to standing split. If you're not there, step the left foot in to find your Uttanasana forward fold. Taking a few deep breaths, maybe moving the hips side to side. And then as you're ready, we'll step our feet back right and left into our downward facing dog or child's pose. And you have the option here to move through that half series flow once again through your chaturanga, or staying in your child's pose or down dog. Meeting in our child's pose or down dog, we're taking our gaze to the top of the mat once again. This time we step our left foot to left hand, finding our low lunge. We can bring our right hand to the inside of that foot on the floor or on the block. As we exhale, we take our gaze over the left shoulder. So left hand to thigh or the left arm up to the sky. You can also lift your right knee off the mat if that feels better for you today. Making sure we're keeping our chest lifted. Taking one more big inhale. As we exhale, release the hands to the mat, drop the knee. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up and over. Feeling that nice hip flexor stretch on the right side. One more big inhale. Exhale, hands meet the mat. We lift the knee, step the right foot in, pyramid pose on the other side. Shifting our hips back here so that we're feeling this stretch, this length in our left leg. Breathe. Once again, we can always step the feet closer if that feels better for us today. Taking one more inhale here. As we exhale, pressing the weight into the left foot, lift the right leg. Doesn't have to be a big lift off the mat here. It can hover right over the floor. We activate the back glute as we lift the leg. Finding that balance. This is where I like to have the block or something in front of me instead of reaching the floor. So we're just bringing the floor, the ground, the earth up to meet us where we are. When you're ready, moving into the Ardha Chandrasana, we lift the right leg to open the hip towards the mirror. Left palm is on the floor of the block, and then we gaze to the right. Right arm can come up to the sky as well. Squeezing through that right glute will help you here in this pose. Taking 2 more rounds of breath, breathing here. Finding your center, coming back to standing splits or pyramid at any time. One more inhale. As we exhale, we're coming back to standing splits or pyramid, stepping the right foot in, forward fold, Uttanasana, move the hips side to side. One of my favorite things after this pose, a nice little stretch. From here, let's bend our left knee. As you bend your left knee, the weight shifts to the right, yes. From here, we're taking our left hand over towards our right foot on the floor, on the block, and we're rotating through our thoracic, our mid-spine. Right arm comes up to the sky, or it can come to our low back. Taking one more round of breath. As you exhale, release, and we'll switch. This time, bend the right knee. Shift the weight to the left side. Right hand to left foot or the block on the left side. We rotate over that left shoulder. Feeling this stretch, release in the side glutes. They just worked hard for that balance work. One more big inhale. Exhale, release, come back to center. When you're ready, take a long step back with your right foot. Drop your right knee to the floor. And then we're walking the left foot to the edge of the mat. Both of the hands come inside of our left leg for lizard pose. You have the option to keep your hands on the block, the mat. You can come down to your forearms, whatever feels good for you. You can let that foot roll to the side. We just want to keep our knees happy, so in line with our toes. Gaze is down towards our mat, and we're finding our breath here in this deep hip opener. Relaxing the muscles in our face, our jaw. When you're ready, taking one more round of breath here. On your next inhale, we'll walk the hands back up to the mat. Releasing the left leg, bringing it back behind us, meeting in that child's pose, resetting our hips, and just taking a few deep breaths. Maybe connecting ourselves back to our breath. When you're ready, we'll lift our gaze, stepping our right foot to our right hand this time. Moving into our lizard pose on the other side. So right foot walks to the edge of the mat, both hands come inside, and then taking whichever options feel best for us today in this pose. So once again, coming to our forearms, hands on the block. Whatever feels best for us today. Using this time to check in with our bodies. Taking one more round of breath here in this pose. On your next inhale, we'll walk ourselves back up to our hands. Bringing the leg back in line with the hips, hands on the outside of that foot. We'll step back to find our child's pose. This is going to be our last child's pose of the day. So taking anything that you want from this position before we come back to our backs on the mat. Once you're ready, we'll slowly walk our hands to our head, our chest, lift our gaze, shift our hips around to bring our legs out in front of us. We can slowly come down to our mats on our backs any way we'd like. I like to pull one knee in and then just slowly roll myself down. And then once you get back to your mat, maybe bringing your knees to your chest, rocking side to side, whatever feels good. We've only got one last and final pose before we bring it to our final relaxation. When you're ready, let's extend the left leg, keep the right knee into the chest. We can hold above or below the knee or on the hamstring, maybe roll out the ankle. Take any last little bit of internal, external rotation in the hip. And then as you're ready, our left hand is going to come below our knee on our shin. Our right arm is coming out to the side as we slowly take that leg across the body. I like to lift my hips and shift them right a little bit before the leg comes over. And you can also find your block in this position. So maybe it feels better for your knee to rest on a block. Your gaze can look in the opposite direction as well, finding this nice supine twist. When you're ready, we'll slowly bring the right leg back to center, our hips back to the mat. We can release the right leg. And then we'll pull the left knee in. Once again, taking those actions with our ankle, our hip, finding any sort of release, little release here in our hip, in our joints. And then whenever we're ready, we can move into our supine twist. Our right hand comes to our shin below our knee, our left arm out to the side. Again, I like to scooch my hips a little left and then take the left leg across. And the gaze can look over the left shoulder. You might notice in this pose one side that feels a little different than the other, and that's perfectly normal. Slowly bring that leg back to center. We can bring both knees to the chest. We can lengthen our legs out. We can take any last and final poses that maybe our body is wanting today. And when we're ready, we can find whatever rest pose feels best for us for our final relaxation. If you'd like, you can extend your legs on the mat, hands, palms by the side. If you'd like, you can bend your knees, feet on the mat. You can let your knees fall open, feet together. You can lay on your belly, you can lay on your side. Whatever is going to be the most comfortable for you for Shavasana or final relaxation today. Once again, closing our eyes if we want to, shifting that focus inward once again, and finding our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Taking this time to focus on that intention that we set at the beginning of our practice, maybe a goal for ourselves this year. Maybe using this time to manifest ourselves achieving that goal. Visualize ourselves achieving that goal. Being in this moment of peace, this moment of stillness. That we often don't get outside of our yoga practice. Starting to wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe just bringing some awareness back into your body and the space. Whenever you're ready, you're welcome to bring your knees to your chest. You can roll over onto your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. And then we'll make our way back to a seated position whenever we're ready. Sitting up nice and tall, let's take one last collective breath together. Inhaling, arms to the sky. Exhaling, bringing your hands to heart center in that Anjali Mudra. We end our practice by saying the light in me honors, sees, and observes the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here today. You'll have an awesome rest of your week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.